So last week I went to Ibiza with my son for his 18th birthday present. And I wanted to do something that would be so memorable that it would almost create a ripple effect in the legacy that I was going to leave for him. And what it turned out to be was one of the most powerful experiences that I've ever had. And not only that, it influenced hundreds of men to message me to tell me how inspired they were to want to do something like this for their kids. Over the course of this video, I'm going to give you 4 of my biggest takeaways in terms of what happened on that trip and my takeaways on parenting, so that I hope you don't put yourself under too much pressure when it comes to being a father. Because if there's one thing that I've noticed from all of the messages that I received last week whilst in Ibiza with the boy, was that a lot of lads are super harsh on themselves about how they parent. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is that there is no written pamphlet on how you should parent. Now, to me, I've always been a really relaxed parent. I've often dropped the F-bomb around the kids at times and often lost my temper in the car. But one of the things that I think is really important to understand is that it does not matter what anybody else thinks about how you parent. I used to put myself under huge amounts of pressure about how people saw the way that I fathered, the way that I conducted myself around my kids. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, because if you put a post up about you and being a parent on social media, there will be so many different varied responses, from being super negative to being super positive. It won't even matter, because you will never please everybody. Not everybody will see the way that you parent as the right way to parent. I even got a message last week in Ibiza to say that I was irresponsible for taking my boy to Ibiza, who is 18, to go drinking and partying. So you see, no matter what you do, no matter what you say, there's always going to be someone judging. So fuck them, because it doesn't matter what they think. I would say a large majority of those people that are looking in at you and judging you are pretty much cunts. So I think it's important to understand that you do you, and make sure that you leave a legacy that really reflects who you are. Pass on that knowledge and that experience and do things how you want to do, that you know is right, that you know is going to benefit your kid. So the second thing I've come to learn, and I've come to learn this over the last 8 years of parenting, is that our kids are smarter than we think they are. Okay, I constantly am always turning around and saying, oh, please be careful of this, please be careful of that, please. And what I'm saying is, I don't trust you enough. I don't trust you enough to go out and know what's right or wrong. I don't trust you enough to know to make a right decision. I don't trust you enough to be able to stay out late enough. And actually, my boy is more of a man than I ever thought. And when I really got to know him over those last 5 days, we really did a deep dive on each other about how I parent and how he sons. And it brought us even closer together, because I want my boy to be able to tell me if he's accidentally got too pissed. I want him to be able to call me at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, Dad, I'm in trouble, come and get me. I do not want to build up the fear in my own boy because he thinks I'm going to bollock him. I'm going to accept him for who he is and what he does. Yes, he vapes. Yes, he's done a bit of weed. Yes, he likes to drink. He's 18 years old. Go out and be 18 years old, but do it sensibly. Do it with the right decisions. I do not want him being the byproduct of me. I want him being him. He has to develop his own identity. My role is simply to be a guide or a mentor now. I will always give my 2 cents if he asks for it. I'm not going to tell him what's right or wrong. He already knows that. And I want him to trust me enough to be able to share his experiences and his troubles with me. And I think that's what brings a relationship together. Number 3, they don't live in your times anymore. So it does not matter what you used to do when you were his age. When I was his age, I was doing this. When I was his age, I was doing this. We live in a different fucking world, my man. So stop trying to look at your son and say, well, you should be more like me when I was 18. Because actually, they are right. My 18 and 20-year-old are always saying to me, but we don't live in the same time as you. And I used to mug them off and say, no, this is the way it should be done. This is the way I used to do it. Absolute rubbish. Life evolves, decisions evolves, economies evolve, everything around us evolves, right? The world that I lived in when I was 18 is vastly different to the world that they live in at 18. Yes, there are more phones, there is AI, there is more opportunities. I was coloring a coloring book at 18 because I didn't even know there was no such thing as a phone. So why should I punish them or have a go at them or spout out that bullshit that, oh yeah, you never used to go through what I went through. Stop downplaying the way that they live their life. Understand and respect the world that they live in because they're under pressure. Talking to my 18-year-old boy, it's a struggle for him to know where he's going. He's worried that time's running out. His mental health is overwhelmed with worries and concerns about his future. What am I going to do? Am I going to meet someone? All of these things that they're overthinking, we are not listening to because we're too busy judging. We're too busy saying, oh, you didn't go through what I went through. That's a wanker comment, by the way. Focus more on what they're going through. See how you can help. Do your best to nurture them, guide them, and be more of a mentor. And number 4, the most important, be there when they need you. Show them undeniable, unconditional love. Support them. Build up their resilience. Believe in them. And tell them that on a frequent basis. If they believe that they can achieve something, then back them up. Don't tell them, oh, it's not possible. Back them up. Build their self-worth, build their self-esteem. The reason that so many men that I work with are low on self-respect and self-esteem is because their fathers never built them up. They just used to knock them down and knock the fucking confidence out of them. That is not how we parent. We have this opportunity to bring this child into the world and to build their self-esteem, to allow them to be confident, to allow them walk through a room 6 inches taller than everyone else, and to be really proud of who they are and their identity and what they stand for. It doesn't matter how they dress or how they think or what their hobbies are. They're going to be a gaming world champion. They're going to be a millionaire, right? If they're going to be doing videos, they're going to be an influencer because that's what they love. So support what they love. Don't fight against it because that's not your dream for them.